Well, good morning. I've chosen this location to the south of Lima, Peru, a coastal lagoon popular with migratory birds, to complement my words today on that very 21st century term, sustainability, and more importantly for you as educators, education for sustainable development.
In these 6 short minutes, I will not explain but simply introduce the path that the field of ESD is taking, particularly as 2014 marks the end of the UNESCO Decade of Education for Sustainable Development. This will be an interpretation of future schooling. How your institution plans for this will be for development later.
Of course, there should be no surprises in what I'm about to say.
It is impossible today to be unaware of the debate about the state of our planet. Economic instability, social unrest, and environmental degradation. These 3 factors now vividly demonstrate the unsustainability of traditional human development.
20 years of formal education, the stuff we do in our classrooms, and non-formal education, the stuff we get from other media, means that many of the world's population now have an awareness of the term sustainability, and many, in their own way, have started the beginnings of an understanding of what that actually means.
The principal question we should therefore all be asking is, have we reached our limits to growth or tipping point?
There's no doubt about it, climate change is merely on the agenda of a long list of changes
in our natural systems and known environments to a state of unpredictability and instability. And our natural resources, remember, are the foundations of our economic and social development.
And to tackle these emerging 21st century complex concepts, we need a completely new way of thinking.
Or as Einstein put it so succinctly, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them.
And to begin to understand that, we have to start in education. We have to understand what it means to be a sustainable school. And put simply, that means now we have to reorientate schools and education towards education for sustainable development. As educators, we have to realise that education must reflect 21st century needs. We don't all have to become experts in ESD, just as none of us, or few of us, would proclaim to be experts in education for unsustainable development in going about our daily jobs today. And those of you that have already dipped into ESD
will realise that changing our schools is not enough when communities are so far behind in understanding or being able to adapt to the changes required. Our need to display what our politicians and parents want in terms of results is reflected in the realistic but limited time afforded in our schools to ESD.
That aside, where schools have been confident in their ESD over the past years,
the evidence is clear that there need be no erosion of standards in education, and seen in that light, a coordinated approach to the development of ESD across the whole community is in everybody's interest.
Your task, therefore, as educators, wherever you may be on the sustainability path, will be to continue those most important building blocks of learning but with an emphasis of inquiry and based on sustainable principles.
If we consider just 3 key phases or concepts to have come out of the present instability in UK weather, they could be unpredictability, collaboration, and that there are no experts.
The question arises as to how well these 3 concepts fit into our present education model and, more importantly, how we see that model change.
With 20 years of ESD development, the most difficult bit for you will not be upskilling in what you do in the classroom. There's plenty of help with that bit. It will be your personal take on sustainability as a role model of what is the accepted 21st century approach to life.
You will be one very small but important part of a global formal and non-formal process of education that continues to do an excellent job of preparing for and understanding human development. Only now that will be part of a process we will all one day be comfortable with, that being sustainable development.
The green economy is considered the intelligent way forward. So if you are one of those that have already dipped into ESD, make no mistake, the move towards sustainability we see now, that is in some way down to you.
The answers are simple and need not be painful. Remembering that will ensure a reorientation of our unsustainable practices to sustainable ones. And that will only be when our schools and universities and their teachers have sustainability set as default. I wish you luck and sustainable futures.